Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another foundation review video. Very, very highly requested foundation this one, and I apologize that it did take me so long. It took a long time to actually get my hands on this foundation. So I missed it when it originally launched. I did purchase it off the Juvias Place website directly. Oh yeah, it's the Juvias Place foundation. Yeah, I think we've all figured that out from the title. But yeah, I bought it directly off the Juvias Place website. It was out of stock for so long, so I had to wait until my shades were back in stock. Then it took so long to ship to me here in Australia. I did upgrade to like the most expensive shipping that I could find on their website to get it here faster. But yes, it took a little while, so I'm sorry, but we're finally doing it. So the Juvias Place I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation. So we're going to be testing this out today. I'm going to be showing you everything nice up and close, showing you the formula, showing how it applies. If you're new here on my channel, I do have textured oily skin. I by all means don't have perfect skin. I do get breakouts, all the fun stuff in life. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes, and then I'm also going to be wearing it all day. We're probably looking at about 12 to 13 hours today that I'm going to be wearing this. I'm going to show you check-ins, and then we'll see what my skin looks like at the end of the day. So yeah, pretty much if you are wanting to see a really in-depth, thorough review on the Juvias Place I Am Magic Foundation, then please keep on watching. Okay, so these are the boxes that this foundation comes in. It's quite nice packaging. It's available now at Ulta stores as well, but if you do live internationally like me, I just purchased it straight up off the Juvias Place website, 20 USD, 30 mil of product in this one. I got 2 shades. I will say the shade range on this one is really nice. 42 shades, I'm pretty sure this one comes in. I've had a look at the shade range. I've had a look at all the swatches and everything, you know, online, obviously. All the way from deep, dark, rich skin tones, all the way down to like really fair, super pale sort of type skin tones. They've pretty much got a shade for everyone, hopefully. Now the claims that are made by this is the interesting part. Second Skin Creamy Foundation offers a smooth application with a soft, natural and soft matte finish to give you flawless coverage. It's actually meant to be really full coverage, this one. A great formula to even out the complexion, refine skin texture, erase blemishes. And it says that it will maintain this initial finish throughout the entire day. Suitable for all skin types, including sensitive skin and oily skin. So sounds really good. It says apply product with a wet beauty sponge or a synthetic brush with a sweeping and buffing motion. Yeah, and then on the other side it does say full coverage. Cool. All right, well, let's get the actual foundation out and have a look. It's quite small. Like the boxes are quite small. Did I show it closer? That's the box anyway. You've got your shade name printed at the top there. The packaging is fairly straightforward. It's like a little squeezy tube. Nothing sort of too fancy about it. It's orange. It says that it's made in Italy. It says that it's cruelty-free. Now, like I said, I've got no idea what shade of this I am. But yeah, let's move on to actually applying this. I will zoom you guys in too so you can actually see. All right, so as always, and to keep things really fair, to keep things as honest as possible, I'm going to be applying the foundation on both primed and non-primed skin, just so that you get a really good idea of, you know, both worlds. This side I've already applied the primer, and yeah, we're pretty much, I'm just excited. Like I literally want to get this on my face. It's meant to be amazing. It's meant to be super full coverage. It's meant to be super lightweight. It's meant to be super creamy. It's meant to be fantastic for oily skin. Like, let me at it. Now let's have a quick look at the shades. So Giza, or is it Geyser? Is that one there. And then this is Martinique. Oh no, Martinique's actually paler. So even though Martinique is 550 and the other one's 540, it is lighter. To be fair, I'm probably fairly well directly in between these two shades, so chose well. And also hello coverage, I've put hardly any on my finger then. So oh my god, I'm like trying to rub it off and holy crap, it is so full coverage. Oh shit. Hi, I've literally just rubbed those 2 patches in with my finger. Oh, that is so full coverage. Wow. And it does feel super lightweight on the skin. Oh. By the way, this is the side with the primer. Let's go in with a sponge. Like, they're not kidding about full coverage. It's so full coverage, and it does sort of like dry down. Oh, I've already got glitter on my face. What's the surprise? All right, so taking our Pro Perfecting sponge. This is from my brand NikkiaJoyBusiness. They're super, super soft sponges. I'm picking up a little bit of the product, and I'm just going to start, I guess, dotting it on the face. It is quite thick, this formula. It does feel quite thick. You do like sort of need to melt it into the skin, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's full coverage though. Oh my god. Like pretty much that tiny amount that I put on the sponge just now is enough to cover like majority of that side of my face. Like that's insane. And like I said guys, this is the side with the primer. I always prime with the Hourglass Mineral Veil for these videos. You guys know that. It's just to keep it, you know, the same across all foundation reviews so that you've got something to compare to. If I was to use a different primer for every foundation review, wouldn't be accurate, basically. Can we talk about how crazy the coverage is on this? Like what? It feels so lightweight on the skin, but there is so much coverage. Oh. Okay, so maybe I'm starting to see why literally every second person was asking me to review this and raving on about it. All right. And despite the fact that it's covered things up so well, it doesn't feel heavy. I don't feel like it looks super dry or super cakey. Oh, I do need to pluck my eyebrows. Hello. But yes, this is the side with the primer. I am going to quickly try applying it with a brush just to see, you know, the difference between the two application methods. But with a sponge and on the Hourglass Mineral Veil, like, oh, it is smooth as anything. So taking it on a synthetic foundation brush now. Now, bear in mind, there is no primer on this side of my face. Obviously, I've done my skincare and, you know, all the things that I usually do, but there is no primer. We'll see what kind of a result we get. I don't think you get as good a coverage with a brush as you do with the sponge. Like I feel like if anything, the brush has sort of even started to take the product off like this side of my nose a little bit. And also I used about the same amount of product and that is all gone. I think the sponge method might be the way to go with this one. Like no kidding, it's so full coverage, and look, I've accidentally just got it in my hair. It is like covering up the color of my hair, and my hair is basically black. She's a full coverage foundation. Still very light, like I don't feel like my face doesn't feel heavy. I don't feel like I've got, you know, like a buttload of foundation on. Kind of that feeling that you get when you do wear really full, like heavy coverage foundations. Sometimes they leave me feeling a bit like, oh, I want to wash my face. Like, you know that feeling? Personally, way prefer applying it with a sponge. So I'm going to finish off this side. I'm not going to get too excited though. There have been a lot of foundations that look this amazing on my skin, like immediately when they're applied, like the Huda Beauty one, the Marc Jacobs, the Remarkable foundation, you know, gorgeous full coverage foundations, and they look amazing when I first apply them, and then literally it feels like 2 hours later, oh, things aren't cute. We're separating, we're caking, like it escalates quickly. But here is the side with no primer. Really, really well covered. I'm not finding that it looks cakey. I'm not finding that it's, you know, emphasizing the texture on my skin or my enlarged pores. I can't. Maybe even the side without the primer might even look borderline smoother than the side with the primer. Both of them feel really, really soft. It does dry down, but like not entirely. It doesn't leave like a super velvety finish. It does dry down though, so it's not like super, super tacky. Like you can certainly, like if you don't have oily skin or you don't have trouble getting your foundation to last all day, you could probably get away with not powdering this for sure. They did release a concealer and a powder. The concealer was out of stock when I ordered the foundation, and I don't think maybe the powder hadn't launched yet. Maybe I don't know. For some reason I couldn't get the powder. So we're just going to do the foundation. But yeah, they do have other products as well. The coverage is absolutely amazing. Oh, I really do have glitter on my cheek. I'm going to zoom you guys in even closer though. I want you to really, really be able to see my skin. So here is the side with no primer. It's covered up the redness. It's covered up the patchiness. It's covered up my deep under eye circles. Truly, I don't even feel like I would need a concealer. So yeah, no primer. Did I say primer or no primer? No primer. And then this is the side with the primer. She looked good. She looks really, really good. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup. Then I'll be back to show you what my skin is looking like then. And then we'll start our check-ins for the day. All right, so I've got the rest of my makeup on and this is what my skin is looking like. Honestly, I do still think that it looks beautiful and smooth. And the only thing really that I'm noticing, it is sort of like caking a little bit on either side of my mouth, just in the smile lines. It's really a lot of matte full coverage foundations do that on my skin, like in the initial stages, but normally once my natural oils come through, we're pretty well good to go. But yeah, I think it looks beautiful. It still feels really, really lightweight. It still doesn't look heavy or cakey. Like, I truly do think at this point, this foundation looks amazing. So yeah, just to give you another close-up, this is my skin with the foundation without primer. And here is the side with primer. It powdered down really well. I was able to apply all the other products on top with no issues. Yeah, it's pretty much all I've got to say. So yeah, I'm going to start the wear testing now. And I will do a flash photography test as well so you guys can see, you know, what it looks like under flash. But I'll see you in about 6 hours and hopefully we are still looking as smooth and flawless as we are looking now. All right, guys, so we are at the 6 hour mark now and from a distance, low-key absolutely quaking in my boots because look how matte my face still is. Like, there's literally a little bit of shine on my chin, maybe a little bit on my nose, but pretty much everywhere else there's nearly no shine on my skin at all. Like, it's doing a really, really, really good job of like oil control, shine control and things like that. Unfortunately, there is caking happening on my chin, separating a little bit. There are some of the issues that I was kind of like fearing to sort of happen because these are, like I said, similar foundations to ones where I've had these issues in the past. But I don't think it's anywhere near as, I mean, let's zoom in and have a close look. I don't actually think it's anywhere near as bad as those other ones though. So let's have a good look. Okay, hopefully you can get a pretty good look at how my skin is looking. We've just got like weird texture and weird cakiness sort of happening on my chin here. It's strange. Like the skin kind of looks like speckled. Like just through here. There is definitely settling in this smile line on this side of my mouth. It's kind of missing around my nostrils, but you know, for the most part, it's not too bad. Just a little bit of texture. Now, this may get better or it may get worse. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that it gets better. But yeah, it's pretty much from like here down on my face. Everywhere else, like it just looks beautiful. It's really, really held up. Hasn't transferred off anywhere. Hasn't like faded anywhere. I was leaning on my face earlier, sort of just here. Absolutely hasn't like disappeared there. My forehead looks like really, really, really smooth. It's weird things happening on my chin. Hopefully you guys can see that. I might move closer. See that weird speckled, I don't know what's going on. It's bizarre. But yeah, damn, absolutely no shine. Controlling the oil really, really well. Hasn't separated. I haven't actually got anything, you know, like skin peeking through. This down here is bizarre. I don't actually think I've had that with a foundation before. Like I'm looking at that now and I'm like, oh, that looks a bit weird. But yeah, pretty damn good so far. So I'm going to continue wearing this. I will see you guys later on tonight at about the 12, 13 hour mark. So fingers crossed, everything goes really well. Oh, and also the flash photo test went really, really well. I didn't have any flashback whatsoever. It looked fantastic under flash. So yeah. I'll see you guys tonight. Hey guys, so I'm here with my final check-in and unfortunately things have not gone as well as I would have liked or would have hoped. Unfortunately, you know, that weird speckly textured situation that was happening on my chin, unfortunately it has actually progressed. It's progressed into full-on caking and separation. It's like the oils have come through and they've sort of, you know, mixed with the foundation and they've actually broken it up and started removing the foundation. I get this with a lot of foundations. It's a very typical thing when you've got oily skin, unfortunately. Yeah, still my forehead though, my forehead looks amazing. Still I am really, really impressed with how well this one does control shine and control oil. Like I don't look that oily for someone who has had their makeup on for 12 hours, do I? No. Like it looks pretty damn good, but it's just, Yeah, really textured, really cakey. It looks great from a distance. Like it, from a distance it looks perfectly fine. But once you get about, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of a meter away or so, like you're really like, ugh, like what is going on with your chin? I'll zoom you guys in so that you can see. So here is my chin, nice and super close up. You can just see all of the product separating and caking. It's happening on my top lip there as well. Separating and caking around the sides of my mouth, down here along my jaw. And if I sort of stretch the skin, you can see like little patches of my skin in between the foundation, all underneath here on my chin, all up this side. Like it just looks so textured, and it's nearly like you can actually see patches of oxidization. Like the foundation's become discolored in parts where my oil has come through. Like I don't know if you can see here on my lip. Can you see like just here, like on top of the texture, there's a slight color change there as well. Hopefully you can see it's like a little bit darker along the edge of my lip, and then it lightens, and then it gets darker next to my nose. Yeah, it changes color as the oil comes through. And look, if I do this, it goes back to the normal color. Now, as far as touching up goes, I will just quickly see if I can absorb that oil and get things back. I put nothing extra on the sponge. This is a sponge that I used this morning to apply it. And we get it back. It's weird. It's nearly like the oil, it comes through and it kind of sits on top of the foundation and makes it go lighter. I don't know. It is a weird situation. I've blotted up a lot of that oil and it does look a whole lot better now. I do still feel though like my chin looks quite textured. It looks much better, and to be honest, it does touch up pretty damn well. For me, it's not one that I can just chuck on, leave it, and, feel confident in knowing that it's going to look perfect. It's a shame. And probably that speckliness, that texture, and that discoloration that was happening on my chin, that probably started at about 4 hours, to be fair. But now that I've touched it up, like it honestly looks beautiful. Like it looks perfect again, literally. It's like melted straight back into my skin. It does touch up really, really nicely. So I guess it just depends on if you want to keep a foundation sponge in your bag and, when you go to the toilet at some point during the day, just quickly push it back into the skin, because it does honestly look beautiful again, and the coverage is sensational. But yes, it definitely cakes and it definitely separates when your oils do come through. So it depends on if you're willing to deal with the cons to get the pros, kind of a thing. All right, so this one's actually going to be a little bit tricky for me. With the touch up, it looks absolutely fantastic. Like honestly, my foundation looks fresh. It looks beautiful. I'd be perfectly happy to continue going. Like it literally looks like I've just applied it. So with the touch up in mind, like taking that into consideration, definitely approved. But without touching up, you guys saw the texture, the little speckled discolorations on my chin, the separation on my chin. If you are not going to be touching up and you do have an oily skin type like me, I would recommend avoiding this foundation, purely because it's not going to get you super long wear and still stay as perfect looking as it does when you initially apply it. So she's sort of like an on the fence. I mean, for a $20 foundation, it's pretty damn good. And honestly, with a touch up, like I feel like my skin looks absolutely like it. This is fresh foundation. It looks like fresh foundation. So yeah, tricky. Approved with a touch up, not approved without a touch up. I hope that helps answer any questions that you might have had about this product. If you've got any more, please be sure to pop them down below in the comment section. I am going to continue trying this. I am going to continue testing it. I don't feel like there was a huge difference in the wear time and the way that it wore between the side with and without the primer. I do feel like it performed fairly well on both sides. I will test it with different primers. I'll test it mixing it with other foundations and continue to report back to you guys on how I go. But yeah, pretty impressed with the coverage, pretty impressed with how well it controls oil. Absolutely hands down impressed with how well it looks when you touch it up. Like, this is weird. Like, it's literally the fresh face of foundation. But, if you just let it sit there, like I said, like you saw, things get nasty really quick. All right, guys, well, that is it for today's video. Please let me know if there are any other foundations that you want to see tested. I am going to be testing this one out next. This is the Becca Skin Love Foundation. I've heard so many amazing things about this. It's meant to be like second skin, like super weightless, glowy, long lasting, just amazing. So I'm going to be testing that one out as well. But yeah, any others that you want to request, please pop them in the comments. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I love you all so much, and I will catch you in my next video, guys.